Hi folks, down in my messy workshop again. Today I do not want to talk about lures or lure making, but about my new action camera that I bought around Christmas time. In fact, I do not want to talk about the camera itself, because to my shame I have not tried it yet. My focus so far was on creating body mounts for this camera, since the accessories which came with it were pretty poor and not much suited for fishing purposes. So for example, only this mounting plate came with it, just the plate, and I've also checked the internet whether there were head mounts available or chest mounts, and I couldn't find anything. So what I found is this chest harness, but I was aware that it was meant for a GoPro and that the fitting rails here might not fit to this camera mount coming with this Denver camera, but since they've only asked for €4.86 on Amazon, including shipping, I thought, oh, okay, I could waste that €5, and in the worst case I would have cut all the mounting rails away and used some thick polycarbonate material to create my own mounting rails and rivet or screw them onto this plate of the chest harness. Just thought that €5, I would take the risk for €5, and I was pretty much sure that it won't be wasted. And also was interested in the chest mount, in a head mount, sorry, to have both options. So as I said before, this plate came with it. It only had some short straps supposed to be mounted to a bicycle helmet or a motorcycle helmet, but not suited for fishing purposes. So what I did is I went to the fabric store, bought myself 2.5 feet of this stretchy 30mm wide belt, and another 2 feet of rigid 25mm belt, and a buckle. Cost me another €4. So I've got now, with 2 to 3 hours of work, I've got myself a chest mount and a head mount for less than €10, and that's pretty cheap, I'd say. The head mount works pretty well. See, you can clip the camera mount into it, wearing my fishing cap. The upper belt is adjustable in case I'm wearing different caps, maybe one with a fur lineup in winter, so I could adjust it. So and this thing holds pretty well. I'm pretty much satisfied with it. You see, doesn't come loose. Okay, and I think now it's time that I should get familiar to the use of this camera. I'll give you a close shot of the tinkering, what I did, so maybe I could provide some input to you fellows out there. If you have the same camera, you do not necessarily need to buy original parts, which are sometimes pretty much expensive. Just a bit of tinkering and you get what you want. Okay, let's get to the close shots now. Alright, the head mount, actually this plate came with the camera. It was rigged with some short 20mm rigid straps to be mounted to some kind of bicycle helmets or motorcycle helmets. So what I did, I bought this stretchy belt. I said before it was 30mm, actually it's 40mm, and I've placed it double and led it through the slot in the mounting plate and sewed it together here. So actually here are 4 layers of belt, which makes the whole thing a bit more rigid on your forehead, and I guess it would improve the stability of the same thing when it's on your head. So 40 mil stretchy belt, and up here 25 mil rigid belt material also sewed together. Please, any ardent housewife looking at my sewing skills, it looks ugly, but it will hold up. And since I might be wearing different kind of hats during summer or winter, I thought that I would use a buckle here to be able to adjust the upper belt around the top of my head. So I fixed this thing to this belt in center, of course. And as I said before, the whole thing came at about €4 of material and 1 hour of work. What may be more interesting is this chest harness, ordered through Amazon, came from China, and I was aware that these mounting rails here would not fit to the mount of the camera. And what I did is, actually, this center rail was too wide to fit in the groove here. So what I did, I took my Dremel and the small router bit and carefully cut off material left and right, trying to maintain the center, and used the file to smoothen each side down like this. So and then it did fit into this. Oh, I have to do it from this side. Okay, it slides on, fits. The of course it's not perfect, so but the outer rails here, they were too long, so I also cut down material from either end of these guiding rails on the side to match the length. The only bad thing is, what I found out in the end, that these places here, the inner sides of the rails, are too wide for these two locking watts to engage. So normally this thing is supposed to be rigged. Wait, this is the upper side. It's supposed to be rigged this way. And you see the buckle is in the way. Same time, the buckle would secure this thing against sliding out, because the locking watts will not engage. Well, what I did, the top of this thing, I turned it around to be able to rig it or to place it this way. So this is the upper side. So because of this bar here with the logo on it, it cannot slide down, it can only slide up, so the camera won't drop. That's what I did. So I have to find out whether it would work or whether this thing would be safe not to drop the camera, but I think it does, because gravity will hold it this way. Normally the screw-on part of the mount was the other way around, but just to be able to push it in from the other side to secure just by gravity, because the locking watts do not engage, and it seems to work. I have to try this thing, but I think I will be using the head mount more than this chest mount. I just wanted to go with the two options, but as I said before, less than €10 for the 2-3 hours of tinkering, and I'm done. I have nice mounts for the camera. Now I'm hoping that it would work fine. Originally this is for a GoPro, I think, but you see I got it matching for this Denver action cam, so I'm hoping to provide some nice fishing videos as soon as the weather gets better. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. Goodbye. Okay people, just watched the video and I thought I should show you this chest mount as well. Maybe some of you guys out there won't know what is it or never saw such before. Actually, I've got the idea from some fellow YouTubers like Simon Taylor and RiverPiker, both from England. So this is how you would do this thing. It's all of, they have stretchy belts. Okay, Murphy's Law. Lead this thing around. So this is the chest mount. But as I said before, I guess I would prefer to use the head mounts, but I just wanted the two options. So can adjust the camera this way, and since I've turned the mount around, it cannot slide up or down, cannot slide down, can only slide up. Since these locking rods, they do not engage reliably, since it's not an original part meant for this camera. But as I said before, for less than 10 euros, I've got two mounts for this camera, and since I'm kinda cheap, I'm pretty much alright with this. Okay, but this was it really. Bye bye.